Well, hello everyone and welcome to Moementum channel. My name is Mo, and in this video, we are going to be reviewing our week 5 of stock investment portfolio challenge with Wealthsimple Trade, where the plan is to grow an account from a mere $5,000 all the way to $250,000. And we are doing things slightly differently. So this past week, I actually went ahead and purchased this dividend tracker that Alpine Dividends has put in his YouTube channel, and is actually the one he uses it. And I've given it a try, and I must say, so far I'm really impressed with this tracker. There are certain issues here and there, minor ones. For instance, some of the holdings that I have in my Wealthsimple Trade account are not quite available to be listed here. So you notice some discrepancies between what you see here as well as what I'm showing you on my actual dashboard with Wealthsimple Trade. But other than that, overall, it is an amazing tool. What I really love about it is that, as you can see, as you enter the different holdings that you have over time, you notice that what is your expected annual dividend income, expected monthly dividend income based on your holdings. So it is an exciting tool, definitely to look into and to explore, which I'm glad to walk you through quickly. All right, so let us take a look at here. And you notice here that overall, in terms of the sectors, if I drag this a little bit and make it larger, majority of my holdings are sitting with the information technology sector. That's my largest holding. So a little bit of perhaps over exposure to IT. So that's something that I'm now mindful of, given this tool really allows you to see first and foremost where your exposures are in terms of sector, followed by financials, as well as, of course, healthcare. Healthcare seems to be my second largest with 25% exposure, followed by financials with 13% exposure here. Then we have on the fourth spot, we have the telecommunications field. And lastly, of course, I notice here we have about 2.5% exposure to real estate. Those are the one in terms of our exposure to the various stock market sectors. So if you look at some of our largest holdings as well, if I largen this one, you notice that our biggest holdings seems to be with Real Matters, and that's the one company that we had talked about. We're heavily investing in. It stands about 15% of our holdings. Then the other largest one that I see here is Royalty Pharma, seems to be around 9.49 or 9.5%. We are also looking here around 7.4% in Apple. And of course, we have shares of Qualcomm. Now, although we might not have that many shares of Qualcomm, I think this is actually based on the value of your account. So Qualcomm's shares are fairly pricier than many of other shares that we have in this portfolio. And as a result, they take a large portion of our holdings. We also see Bank of Nova Scotia also being one of our top holdings here as well. All right, so let us put this back to where it was. The other features that I see here, and as you enter your dividend income, as you're earning them, you start seeing here how your dividend income is growing and changing over time. Keep in mind here, for now, we are more so focusing on our personal accounts, but given how this portfolio and this tracker is actually very helpful, I'm interested and intrigued to actually add my tax-free savings account as well. We are in a new year, and as a result of that, my tax-free savings account, especially for those of you who are in Canada, you would know that you get new contribution rooms. So I would definitely want to take advantage of that and put more money back into my TFSA. Last year, I had some withdrawals from my TFSA as well. And so that's something that I could potentially, again, take advantage of that and put more money into my TFSA account. So that I give you a better picture, I will try to add that to my list here. So it gives you a more fulsome picture of where things are at. All right, with that, let us move over to our Wealthsimple trade account here. And all right, with that, let us move back to our dashboard with Wealthsimple Trade. And you notice here for our personal account, the total balance right now is sitting at $16,878. The 1 month return is showing 2%. The 1 week return is showing to be a negative 1%. And the 1 day return, today's return, in fact, was fairly stagnant at 0% or about up $38. Our 1 year return is still showing a very decent return of 42%. All right, so with that, let us move ahead and take a look at our various holdings and then our all-time returns for these accounts. You notice here we still own 6 shares of Apple with a return of 14.75%. We still maintain our 2 shares of Blink with 10 plus return. Bristol Myers, we have now 7 shares and it's showing 27 plus return. Bank of Nova Scotia, we've added to our shares here and now we have 15 shares and it's showing a positive return of 18%. We have Salesforce with positive return of 11%. We have 3 shares. Corsair Gaming Corporation, we have 9 shares and it's showing a negative return of 12%. Next, we have Emerge Arc Fintech Innovation ETF. We have 9 shares and it's showing a negative 1.98% return. EAGB, Emerge Arc Genomics and Biotech, we have 19 shares. It's showing a negative 5.9% return. And EARK, we have 30 shares and it's showing a negative 4.46%. Gilead Sciences, we have 4 shares. It's showing a 3.57% return. HCLN, we've added to our shares. We now have 8 shares. It's showing a negative 2.90%. Neo Lithium Corporation, we have 67 shares and it's showing a negative 4.15%. Pfizer, we've added to our shares. Now we have 21 shares. We added 1 share to our since last time and we are showing a positive return of 19.57%. Palantir, we have still our 10 shares and it's showing a negative 1% return. Pizza Royalty Corporation, it's a dividend paying company. We added these shares last week. And we have 5 shares, of which is showing a 0.38% return positive for now. Qualcomm, we have 8 shares and it's showing a positive 10.28% return. Real Matters, we have 153 shares. We have added a couple more shares and it's showing a positive 0.79%. Royalty Pharma, we have 29 shares and it's showing a negative 5.33%. Royal Bank of Canada, we now have 5 shares showing a positive return of 17%. Toronto Dominion Bank, we have 7 shares showing a positive return of 17.80%. Vanguard FTSE Canadian Cap REIT, we have 12 shares showing a positive return of 12%. And as well, we have Verizon with 10 shares showing a positive return of 4.76%. We have 2 more index funds here. We have BlackRock Canada iShares Canadian Select Dividend Index, XDV. The 5 shares are showing a positive return of 19.75%. And XIT, or BlackRock Canada iShares S&P TSX Capped Information Tech, it's showing a positive return of 4.39% for our 16 shares that we own. All right, so let us move ahead and take a look at our buys over the span of the past 1 week. Keep in mind, we did not sell any of our shares and we just bought more, as you see here on the screen. So we bought 1 share of TD at the price of $82.02, 1 share of Bank of Nova Scotia, 1 share of HCLN. We bought 1 share, actually 2 shares of Real Matters. We bought these at the price of $16.18. Pizza, we bought these at the price of $10.56. We bought 1 share of Pfizer at the price of $37.98 USD, or equivalent of that was $48.19 Canadian. We had a number of orders for Pfizer that were expired and did not get fulfilled. We also, if you look at further, around April 13th, we also bought 2 more shares. We bought 1 share of HCLN at $15.29, and we bought 1 share of EAGB at the price of $22.70. Now, if we take a look at our dividend income and take a look and see whether we had any dividend over the span of the past week, you notice that our last dividend was on April 9th, so we haven't got any dividend over the span of the past 1 week. In terms of our deposits, if you look at it, to see whether we deposited any money to our accounts recently, you'd see again that our last deposit was on April 9th, so we did not deposit any new money into our account. There you have it, folks, a quick overview of our account and where it stands, as well as our plan and to how to grow this account over the span of the coming weeks, coming months, and coming years. In terms of the stocks that I'm keenly looking into and gradually adding to my positions, as we saw earlier, I have huge exposure to information technology, so most likely I would not be adding more shares into the information technology sector. Financial sector is still another sector that I'm interested in. Real estate is another one. So those are the ones that, although I have still considerable exposure, I would really like to add more shares that are quality Canadian dividend paying companies. So those are the ones that I'm considering. Pizza was one of those considerations. As a result, we are looking into adding more shares to our VRE or even XDV as the dividend paying index funds that we are talking about. If there is opportunity, I might consider also adding more to my other Canadian stocks and ETF shares, such as EAGB or EAFT, in order for me to take advantage of dollar cost averaging, especially now that the prices have gone down. HCLN is another one that we are showing some negative returns for, so we might consider adding more shares again to take advantage of dollar cost averaging. That being said, though, I'm trying to be cautious. I'm not drastically putting in a lot of money into the stock market, wanting to make sure that I have some cash reserve just in case we are going to potentially see some pullbacks. I think those great pullbacks, and especially if there is a sell-off, those are the times that you really want to take advantage of that and not panic, but rather go for your quality picks that you've already narrowed down on, added to your watch list, and you know that the business fundamentals are solid, and so you want to take advantage of those pullbacks and add them to your positions or grow your existing position with those companies. I hope you found this video beneficial. I would love to hear from you and know what companies or stocks are you considering to add to your positions, whether it's a stock for a company or perhaps even a index funds or ETF. Love to hear from you. Let me know in the comment section and down below. And with that, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to give it a thumbs up. It really means a lot to us, and it will help this video to be shared with more viewers, and hopefully allow us to grow our channel and attract more like-minded individuals in the stock market investing in financial freedom domain. With that, thank you so much, and I hope to see you next time.